broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the country with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan, your host, technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise. Our co-host here, Mike Corday, is MIA. So we have Mr. Gregoire that is sitting in his seat. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you. This is kind of odd, moving one seat over.
Well, welcome to the
but
one
I appreciate
seat over.
it.
All right. Mark is our whiskey connoisseur and a technology expert himself. Now, we're live streaming during our show on 4 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. We're friends from different backgrounds, but we bring the best technology show possible weekly for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel today. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, welcome to Tech Time Radio. Today we got a show packed with exciting and intriguing stories. First up, we dive into some jaw-dropping tech news and developments. Brace yourself as we have uncovered a secret military base at the North Pole. Yes, you heard that right. Plus, Meta issues an apology after a technical glitch floods Instagram Reels with violent graphic videos, and thousands of users are stunned. Now, Microsoft has dropped a bombshell announcing the closure of Skype in May, and they have a shocking revelation that their Copilot AI has exposed sensitive content. We're going to talk about what happened there. Last but not least, meet Flashes. That's right. A hot new Instagram rival built atop Blue Sky has now been released widely and is ready to take the social media world by storm. In addition, of course, we have our standard features, including our technology fail of the week, a possible Nathan Nugget, which we have to get to because it's a very intriguing story. And of course,
I love the Nathan Nugget.
This is going to be really good. You're going to like this one. And pick of the day, whiskey tasting, to see if our selected whiskey pick gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show.
All right, that's my favorite part.
That is your favorite part. All right. Well, now it's time for the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right. Flashes, an Instagram rival built on top of Blue Sky, released widely this week. Let's go to Kren Westland for more on the story.
Looking for an alternative to Instagram? We might have a suitable candidate in Flashes, a recently launched app built on Blue Sky that seems to get all the important basics right. If you remember an Instagram before Meta turned it into its Facebook replacement. That is what Flashes is. It's an app for sharing photos and videos. Flashes include some filters to apply to your photos, along with some custom feeds that you can use if you want, but otherwise customizations are minimal. It's really an image and video-focused version of Blue Sky. Blue Sky now has 30 million users as of January 2025. Back to you guys in the studio.
Oh, I love this. You predicted this.
We did, didn't we? We
did.
did. Blue Sky. Okay, so this is called Flashes. Now, this app was introduced in January, but they had a couple glitches that they had to work on and fix out. This is the Instagram before Facebook took over. So Instagram was very popular. You could share up to 4 photos at the time. And guess what? On this app, you can share 4 pictures, or you can post a video up to a minute in length. All of the original Instagram information and processes is set up. Now, what's the best part about this, though, unlike Instagram, is it doesn't use the algorithmic roles that Meta has previously defined. You actually go on in and you get to follow the pages of your choice, and you only get information from those pages. So you can still do that with Instagram, but Instagram, you'll see a couple pages you like, And then all of a sudden you get an ad, and then you go through a couple more things and you get another ad. Odie, are you excited about this? I see you biting at the bit here. What's up?
So what I'm hearing is I finally have a reason to drop Instagram.
Yes.
I hate Instagram.
You know what? This is going to be a reason to look to have. Do you have your Blue Sky account set up?
No, I'll do it right now.
Okay.
You haven't set it up yet?
No.
Don't be doing it during the show. Keep on the board. But this is the Instagram for Blue Sky. It also means that none of the data from this information being pulled is going to be resold.
Mm-hmm.
The user that created
now.
The user that created it did it on open source and said that he just wanted to create an experience like Instagram was originally for people to be a part of.
That was my question for you. So is it somebody that used to work for Instagram and took code over and there may be possible lawsuits, or is it somebody that just modeled it after the overall premise?
I'm pretty sure that because it has been already out in the App Store for a little bit and they had to work on some stuff to fix it. I believe that this is an independent, went back to what was Instagram like, and they probably had an experience of Instagram before Facebook took over and changed it. And so they wanted to just create the same original feeling of what Instagram used to be. Now,
Nice.
Blue Sky has $30 million user database that's out there. So this will get picked up and used quite frequently. I know TechTime Radio is just created an account for flashes so that we will actually be using stuff that we would have originally posted on Instagram. We will now put it on flashes on our Blue Sky account.
I don't expect you to know numbers off the top of your head, but like Twitter, how many on Instagram? Do you know how many users generally?
I don't, because those numbers change all the time.
They do.
And
I just was trying to see ratio.
So Blue Sky is 1/3 of the, so they said that they're 1/3 of the social media landscape at this time.
Okay.
So I would see that as pretty significant. With 30 million users, it's a lot of people, a lot of artists are going to that. So it's a pretty big uptick on what people have.
So the new True Social is the big one right now.
Was that?
The new True Social is the big one?
Is it?
Well, that's Twitter.
Well, is that Twitter?
That's Twitter.
Is Twitter or is it the Truth? Isn't Truth Social also its own network? It's
Well,
its
it
own
is.
network
That's
too.
the old one.
Okay.
And I don't know who's on that anymore because they all flipped over to Twitter once Elon Musk turned everybody back on.
Everybody back on.
Well, there's also Threads, which is
a hybrid
of Instagram's Twitter.
Yes.
Their version of it.
So that was supposed to be the kind of the TikTok equivalent, but that didn't work out really well.
I don't know anybody on it, and nobody talks positive about it.
I like it in the sense that it's a better community than Twitter.
Okay.
But I love what do you call it? I love the pop culture aspect of Twitter.
Okay. And then, a lot of people use Twitter still. I mean, all the NBA teams do when I look for my roster.
You got to get them on Blue Social.
Well, Blue Sky is going to Blue Sky is going to take it. That's what I think. All right. Now
we'll see.
All right. We got story number 2.
Yeah. So 98 feet below the surface is what we're talking about.
Okay.
And it's not in the ocean. So NASA finds a secret military base at the North Pole.
What?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay.
So this has a nice twist to it, this story.
Okay.
So scientists from the JPL, so the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, have uncovered a massive abandoned military base beneath the North Pole in Greenland. This discovery happened while they were studying the polar ice layer with a high-precision radar, and they did not expect to find this.
Okay.
I guess they were never informed by the U.S. government that we had a secret base in the North Pole in the past.
Yeah.
So it's called Camp Sentry, also known as the City Under the Ice. It's a relic from the Cold War that was built by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in 1959.
Wow.
So it's designed to test construction techniques in the Arctic and experiment with deployment of nuclear weapons, featuring a network of 0.75 or 3/4 miles of interconnected tunnels.
Okay.
So the World Wars love tunnels.
Yes. So I mean, this is like almost a real live Fallout type of deal. If you've ever seen like the TV show Fallout, or if you're familiar, so this is like a bunker built underground where people are living in with tunnels.
They had everything in those tunnels.
Or a more modern take.
Yeah.
The War on the Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in those tunnels, talking about that, they had a hospital, a laboratory, a chapel, a library, a recreation areas with a capacity for 200 people.
Wow.
And it was powered by a nuclear reactor, the PM-2A, and the site was abandoned in a beautiful year of 1967.
Okay. Why is that a beautiful year?
great people were born that year.
Yeah, okay. Is that your birthday the year? I get it.
I
Okay.
wonder who.
All right. So how was this discovered, though? Let's talk about the technology. What is there a certain technology that was actually developed to find this information?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that complex.
Okay.
Scientists were flying over in their Gulfstream 3 aircraft, and it was equipped with NASA's uninhibited aerial vehicle synthetic aperture radar.
Okay.
Whew, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, the UAVSAR.
So it's just radar,
Okay.
and they're just flying over, taking a look at the ice layers, and boom, there it was. This huge city under the ice.
Yeah.
So their goal was to calibrate, validate, and understand the capacities and limitations of the radar. So they're just testing out the radar for mapping the internal layers of the ice.
Okay.
But they found a secret surprise.
Wow. That's amazing.
And I don't know how secret it is. I mean, it was a World War II base that has been constructed by the military engineers.
Yeah, well,
So a ton of people worked on it.
So yeah, but it wasn't released.
It wasn't right, but nothing was really done with it. It
Okay.
sounds like so. It just everybody didn't really care. They just kind of forgot about
They
it.
just kind of left it one day and kind of like the Hatch and Lost. You ever see that? They had a big.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was all this real important
Oh
thing.
my god.
You had to have numbers that were pressed every so many minutes, and then all of a sudden, season 3 comes out. And we totally forgot that. Never mind. All right. Well,
But they blew up the. I just watched that for the first time. They blew up the hatch.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
yeah.
Not that
And
you forgot it.
Desmond's down there on his bike.
God, I love Desmond.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Well, you know what? Speaking of sci-fi stuff,
Mm.
you're gonna like the Nathan Nugget today. Then I'll just tell you.
Oh,
that.
yeah.
We're gonna be talking about some sci-fi things. All right. Story number 3. Meta apologized for a technical error after
Oh.
thousands of users saw violent graphic videos on Instagram and Reels feeds.
So two big people have to apologize on the show today: Meta and
Well, we'll be talking about that in
And Mr.
there you
Mumm.
go. That's right. That's right. All right. So let's talk about it. So these are the graphic videos that people submit that get blocked so that people don't have it. So these videos had people being shot, people being hung, death. I mean, very, very violent, disturbing videos and graphic pictures that were on this. Well, Meta apologized for a technical error after thousands of users saw the violent graphic videos on their Instagram Reel feeds. A Meta spokesman said, "We have fixed an error that caused some users to see content in their Instagram Reel feeds that should not have been recommended. We apologize for the mistake."
so let me read the subtext here and tell me if I'm accurate or not.
Yeah.
They're not apologizing for having the content on their site. They're just apologizing that certain people that maybe didn't want to see it saw it.
Well, so that's how they. Well,
There's
that's
a big
how,
difference
Well,
between
okay, that's
those
how they
two.
come out with the press release. But here's what the story is: these are videos that they classify that should not be shown to anybody, and
To anybody.
To anybody.
Okay.
And those accidentally got checkmarked or got into somebody's feeds as recommendations.
Could that
So it
be
wasn't-
because they eliminated the division that does this?
I don't know about that. But Meta did not comment further on what caused the glitch. The issue comes as Meta has been making a push to boost short-form video engagement on its platform with rivals like TikTok. TikTok has just over a month remaining to find a new non-Chinese owner for its U.S. operations or face a ban in the country. Instagram has been seeking to attract users, worry about the possibility of losing TikTok by introducing new features similar to those to TikTok. What was that, Odie? You're all excited.
Wait, they're still wanting to ban TikTok?
Yeah, well, yeah. So
That's not off the table yet.
That's
What
not off the.
is going? Okay,
So they're looking for a new. Well, there's a couple.
I give up.
There's a couple people and companies that have offered to buy TikTok from ByteDance USA, which is the derivative of ByteDance from China. So that is still out there that someone is going to look. I know Kevin O'Leary. Do you ever watch that Shark Tank show?
Yeah, I love.
Okay, Kevin O'Leary,
Mr. Horrible?
or Mr. Wonderful. That's right,
No, Mr. Horrible.
Mr. Horrible.
God.
Although let me just tell you, his royalty deals. Sometimes you listen to them, sometimes they're not bad, and sometimes they're the stupidest thing ever. So if he does a royalty at 2x, you're okay. If he does it for ever, then you should probably walk away. But long story short, he has an investment group that would like to purchase that.
Mhm.
There's other companies that have stepped up that are interested in purchasing TikTok. One of them may be in the Seattle area. I know that it's interested in that. So we'll see what happens, and we'll just see what happens. I do think TikTok will be sold, and I'm sure that it'll be a big press, and that there are.
Do you think it actually will be sold, or the concessions? Because the what's in the wind, it's different. So I don't want to get too political.
Yeah.
But the old administration, what they were trying to do, and their purpose was one direction,
Yeah.
and the new one seems to be a different direction, and what they're trying to achieve. The new one doesn't really seem to want to ban them. I think they're just trying to gain something different out of it. So either sell it to an American
I
company
think they'll sell it. I think
that's
they'll
a partner with them,
I think they're going to have to sell it.
or get concessions.
Or get huge concessions or huge payments.
So
to be in
basically, it's
there.
a business leverage deal.
Yes, and everything's kind of business leverage right now, right? All right, well, so Meta has made significant changes on its controversial policies and moderation. The company said in January they would do away with fact checkers and is now using community notes, just like the platform X uses. So those are all available there too. All right, well, let's go to story number 4.
I love that. Do away with fact checkers.
Fact checkers.
And just we'll do community, whatever you think.
Your notes, and then you can put it out there. Well, there you go. Story number 4. In August 2003, a platform that allowed you to use voice calls from a phone number that included video conferencing was created. This was named Sky Peer-to-Peer, now known today as Skype. So what's happening? Microsoft bought Skype. The company has billions of downloads. It says it has billions of downloads that have been used for their real-time communications. Now, Microsoft chief Steve Ballmer was the individual that actually helped put the deal together for Microsoft to buy Skype.
Now, I know Skype isn't as prevalent in my community anymore in the U.S., but you said
overseas.
There you go. Talk about that.
Overseas. So we have great friends that are in Africa and other countries and continents across the world. And let me just tell you that it is very important to use Skype in the communication area there with 2G, 3G type of technologies, maybe not at the 5G type of areas, to relay, to do delayed video. And Skype was really good on a slow connection, not always having to stream the video so it's live and all the movements are there, but kind of bits by bits so you could still see the person, still see information, share information. And is
it waning? Because when I travel abroad, I have seen a shift to a different app.
Well, we're going to talk about that. So
I wonder if it's the same app I'm seeing.
So Microsoft announced when Windows 11 came out, its new operating system that was never going to be out because Windows 10 was the last operating system they were ever going to release. But that changed. It said that Microsoft Teams would be integrated by default, while Skype for the first time was not.
Yep.
Now, Teams have seen boost in popularity during COVID pandemic as people moved their work and personal meetings all online. Microsoft wants to streamline its free service to focus on Microsoft Teams. Skype users now have a choice to move over to Microsoft Teams or export their Skype data, including chats, contacts, and call histories, into a format that can be imported into another tool. For Skype customers who paid for some features, I had paid for credits. I still have some credits probably in my account. I think there's like 100 credits. They need to use up their services before it officially goes dark. In the next couple months here is what they're planning to do.
So I know I use Teams a lot, but I do that as part of the integrated Microsoft suite since I have Office 365.
Yeah.
The question is, can you run Teams as a standalone app?
Oh, what options are available? In a special segment of Say What, we explore new alternatives to replace Skype. So that's going to be our main feature today. And you might be surprised at our number one suggestion. All of that will be in our next segment here, Mark.
Ooh, I'm excited.
All right. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on, we have our Say What segment up next. So buckle up, tech enthusiasts, as we drive into the show 88 miles per hour. Into the next segment, we will see after this commercial break.
Looking for custom glass solutions for your next commercial project? Hartung Glass Industries is your trusted partner in custom glass fabrication. For over 100 years, Hartung has delivered proven manufacturing expertise, comprehensive product offerings, and dependable service and quality. From energy-efficient facades to custom shower doors, we create glass solutions tailored to your project needs. With 8 facilities across the U.S. and Canada, we combine national expertise with a local touch-ensuring faster service and unparalleled customer care. Hartung Glass Industries, where quality meets innovation. Visit hartungglass.com to learn more.
All right. Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Our weekly show covers the top technology subjects without any political agenda. We verify the facts. We do it with a sense of humor. in less than 16 minutes. And of course, a little whiskey on the side. Now, programming note from a listener in Canada. Big James Bond
talking
fan.
about checking the facts.
Well, noted. She noted. This comes to us from, what was her name here? Judy. That's right. Judy sent us an email. I got 2 emails. She's a big James Bond
Who was
fan.
the other one? Was David, wasn't it?
Another individual was David. That's correct. So, programming note that the information we had from Yahoo.com's entertainment segment that they posted on there was incorrect. So we cut and paste some of our stories. So when it's really technology wise, and this was kind of, we're going to say what happened. So first of all, Roger Moore was born in London, UK, and Daniel Craig was born in Cheshire, England, UK. So both of those on the segment should have been that those were born in the UK, so that this would be like the 3rd or 4th person they're looking in the UK that be the new James Bond with Bezos information. So we want to thank Judy for bringing this to our attention. And trust me, the intern had to drink Trader Joe's Kentucky Bourbon whiskey selection, one of our worst ever, this week for sending us that bad article.
That is torture.
That was torture.
That was torture.
That was torture. So we verify the facts and we do it with a sense of humor. But I would think that Yahoo, never mind. So so we will make sure from any other, especially our segments on technology, we spend a lot of time digging into them, but I just kind of overlooked and you know what she said? You could just throw it in ChatGPT and you would have got your information. Wow.
Well, if she listens to the show, she'll also know ChatGPT spits out a lot of bad information.
Oh, that could have been. I could have just done the Yahoo article. There you go. All right. Well, today, Mark Gregoire, whiskey connoisseur, is in studio as both in the main seat right now, and of course, as our connoisseur of whiskey. What do we have here today? It looks like a Knob Creek, but so tell me a little bit about
Creek Single Barrel Select Bourbon. It is the Seafood Fest 2024 bottle. Now, from Knob Creek's website, store-specific offerings from a bourbon barrel specifically chosen by your local retailer through their single barrel program. Now, this one is from the Ballard Cut in Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
It is bold and complex with vanilla, nuts, and oak. It has a lingering, warm, full flavor. Now, the company is Beam Suntory. The distillation is Jim Beam Distillery in Claremont, Kentucky. It is a straight bourbon. This one is 10 years old. It's 120 proof, 77% corn, 13% rye, 10% malted barley. And the price is about $70 for this type of whiskey.
All right. I actually like it already. So I'll tell you, it's pretty good. So I you know what? I don't know if I'm going to give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, but I am definitely very interested in taking a look at what we have.
Hopefully Mike can show up for the second half of the show because this was specifically brought in for him, and I know he likes this type of profile. So
okay.
I'm excited to hear his take.
All right. That sounds good. All right.
Now, please don't forget to like and subscribe. In addition, please comment. Let us know if you have a whiskey you'd like us to review. Drink responsibly. Heaven can wait.
With our first whiskey tasting completed, let's move on to our feature segment. Today we have on our subjects, Say What, the alternatives to Skype.
Say what?
What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you. Say what one time.
All right. Microsoft is officially shutting down Skype. Rest in peace. Even if you haven't used the app in years, it's possible Skype was your introduction into the modern video chats. The app made it easy to call friends and family via video no matter where in the world you were at. As long as you had a stable internet connection, you could Skype. The opportunity to see video and have audio at the same time was revolutionary. And as we talked about, Skype is going for good. Now, once Microsoft pulls the plug on Skype, legacy users will need a new platform to turn to. Microsoft will encourage you to switch to Teams, and of course you can do that. But I believe there are better alternatives out there with less friction and better to be used. That's why platforms that work with people's existing accounts and platforms that are the best out there, we decided to go through them and talk about the top 5. Now, there's, of course, many different apps. You can use Viber and Signal, which are really good to have texting and call features, and those are private. But I'm going to try to actually go through what I would consider the top ones that most people have. Now, let me just tell you, stay away from Telegram unless you're advanced with picking up scams and can filter out the provocative items that they send to you. I'd probably stay away from that platform. So let's start, and I'm going to start with number 1. Number 1 is Google Meet. That's right. If your goal is to find the easiest video call solution for the average person in your contact list, guess what? Google Meet is it. In 2025, changes are high that the person you're trying to reach has already created a Google account, whether that's a Gmail account, a YouTube account. Most everybody. Do you have a Gmail account, Mike?
I've got several Gmail accounts.
Okay, so this is absolutely the ability to have like your Gmail account on there, and so it's easy to connect with. If somebody doesn't have a Google account, that is a requirement that they go and create a free Gmail account. Now, it doesn't matter really what platform you're on, whether you're on a Mac, a PC, whether you're on an iOS device, an Android device, every single one of them has the Google applications installed. Google Meet works on just about all devices. It's free, and of course, you get some perks if you pay for the higher plans, including high-end HD quality video. But the main issue with Google Meet, though, is that it's not necessarily all that intuitive. The service does seem to be more of a business professional use than casual conversation, so it isn't necessarily the ideal Skype replacement. But hey, for the fact that it's free and have to have the user option as meetings, I wish they would just do probably like Google Chat, but they call it meetings on your application. You can still talk to family members and friends for free.
But Skype was free.
Well, Skype was free. Skype was free, and Skype is no longer in since with it's being retired. So since it's gone, you know, there is no alternative. Skype was the best because you were allowed to use it. You could talk to anybody from Skype to Skype, and then you could even do Skype to a phone number. And so it's really going to be a shame, but I can guarantee you one of these people are going to pick up and I believe take the mantle after Skype goes away. Now, here's a problem, though. There's a 60-minute limit on calls at the time for free users. So right now, if you use it, you can only talk for an hour, and then you have to disconnect, and you can't connect again within a 4-hour window. So if I want to talk to you for 2 hours, I'm going to have to talk to you for the first hour of your time, stop, and then I'm going to have to come on back and get you the next hour of your time.
I feel like I can make a prediction here.
Well, what's that? I bet you Google
that Skype is being retired so that all these pay for services can replace it.
Well, that's right. Well, Google Meet supports video calls with up to 100 participants, just as Skype did. So I don't know if on a personal family get together, I don't know if you need 100 people, but if you need 100 people and your family's that large, you can still all meet with the Google Meet. That is our number one recommendation. Our second recommendation is WhatsApp. Like Google, WhatsApp's insanely popular around the world. If you're not using WhatsApp, someone you know probably is. WhatsApp standardizes, gives you some advantages. With Google Meet, it has a very good chance that you have a person that has a video account already set up on WhatsApp. Better yet, the app doesn't have a time limit for calls, so you can talk as long as you want. So the reason WhatsApp isn't at the very top of that list is you know who's in charge of WhatsApp, right? Facebook. So Meta is in charge of WhatsApp. So they automatically move down there because when you're on your calls, they can actually use recording and information that you chat for their building relationship model for the individuals that are on there. So not your conversations are not private. They are still a part of the
Say
Meta.
what?
So that's right. That is right. They are not private, and they always are available to be used. Now, they say that they do a better job of not using that information and necessarily sell it. But it only holds 32 people. So if you're in a large family, maybe you can't do this. And it doesn't have the 100 people. But it does have the video option for calls, and you can switch between video and audio very simply.
I'm sort of the opinion that if you have a family that has more than 100 members, that you're not going to be persons that use technology to get together.
You're going to probably all do a big potluck. Is that what you're saying?
I'm thinking barbecues and
other type of get-togethers.
Yeah.
All right.
Bring your own beer types of things.
Okay. Well, number 3 on our list here, we got Facebook Messenger. If not one Meta app, why not another? Facebook Messenger has been the option for Facebook users for years, simply because it's built right into Meta's flagship social network. Now, I use this. My wife and I communicate on this quite a bit, so I do use this. But sometimes I don't check
all your info.
Well, sometimes I don't check it for a couple days though, because Messenger is kind of an integrated chat feature that's available there. Facebook Messenger also does support video calls for up to 50 people through a feature called Rooms, but Meta has since discontinued the option of allowing that to be directly taken in the consumer version, and it's the upgraded version that you need to have for that. Now, there are no time limits on messenger calls, so if you want to have a conversation, you can talk as long as you want, of course, on the Facebook platform. Now, we're going to go to that was number 3. And my fourth selection would be FaceTime. So if you have an Apple account, you're a person trying to chat with somebody from an Apple account, you can just FaceTime them. Very simple to use. I use this for my in-laws, for different people. If they have an Apple device, I have an Apple device. We can connect. It does not work, though, from Apple to Google. That is the problem, and a lot of people have Google devices. So if I was trying to get a hold of you, Mike, and I'm trying to do a FaceTime, probably not going to work because your main phone is what?
It's an Android.
Yes, so that is the limitation. Otherwise, though, it's great to use to communicate back and forth and to have things go as needed. Now, things get even trickier if you don't do that. My next recommendation would be to use Microsoft Teams. So surprisingly, they want you to switch from Skype to Teams. Teams is a platform that is very difficult to use. Odie just gave it a thumbs down. Why did you get Odie? Jump in here real quick. Why did you give it a thumbs down for Microsoft Teams?
I just hate Teams. You have to download a whole separate app for what is essentially Zoom.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Anything Microsoft related, I've never really enjoyed.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You hate
So
her.
like Office 365.
You don't like that?
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me just tell you, Teams is not easy to use.
Yeah.
It's probably the most difficult.
It's also not accessible.
It's not accessible. Well, if you have a
Exactly.
Microsoft account, and everybody has a Microsoft account, right? No, not really.
No. So
Everybody has a Gmail account.
Yeah, they don't have a live account, or they don't have.
You
an
know
Outlook.
the whole internet meme, like, oh, when you go into Internet Explorer, you type in Google.
Yeah.
You don't go to Internet Explorer.
You don't go to Internet Explorer.
No.
Okay.
What I mean by that is if you're somebody who uses an interpreter,
Yep.
Teams does not work well with that because you can't pin things and let it alone.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. Well, this app does not. This app does support up to 100 people, but you can chat for 60 minutes at a time. One-on-one chats are available for up to 30 hours at a time. So if I want to do a one-on-one chat, I can do 30 hours. But if I want to do 3 people, 60 minutes is the limit on my free account. Now, if I have a business account with Microsoft, I get the time that's available there. But it is not very easy to use. All right, my 5th recommendation, and this is because of cost. In what am I? Say what here?
Cheap?
Frugal. All right,
yeah,
it's
okay.
Zoom.
That's just another word.
Now, I actually use Zoom, though, in my day-to-day life. I have a Zoom account. I pay $19 a month just for the options of having a nice video conferencing device that I don't have to have everybody connect to. Now, our production meeting used to be done on Zoom. We've now moved it over to Microsoft Teams to try to do that. But anytime I have anybody that is not technical, guess what? I always send them a Zoom link because it's much easier to connect to. You can connect directly from the web. The problem, though, is their free version. Their free version only gives you 40 minutes to do a call. So if you're trying to have a conversation, 40 minutes is normally not, well, maybe if you're talking to somebody that you don't want to talk to very long, it'd be plenty of time. But 40-minute limits really are kind of killing Zoom's free call features. But as Zoom attests to, they have 95% of their users on their platform pay for their services. So I guess if you want to make it free available for longer than 60 minutes, that would help out. If you don't, Zoom is probably going to continue to have their $19 a month service to be available there.
Sure, yeah.
So my number 1 recommendation is a Google Meet platform, available for free, web-based client. You don't even have to download anything. Odie, have you ever used Google Meet? Because you're anti-Teams. Have you used Google Meet anytime? No?
Like years ago.
So you haven't used Google. Have you used Google Meet, Mike?
No.
Okay. So
No.
we're gonna
No, I used Zoom, and
You like Zoom?
I like Zoom. I don't like paying for Zoom.
Okay.
Everybody has to use Teams in my organization now because, they
Microsoft
bought
and
into
what?
the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
So now we use Teams.
You use Teams all the time? Okay.
Yep.
There you go. Well,
And then I think somebody here at the table switched us from Zoom to Teams.
I know.
That's what I
How
know.
dare they?
Because for some reason
For some unknown,
For some unknown
'Cause we're
reason.
all
stupid reason.
Because we all need to figure out how to use the Microsoft systems. That's right.
Oh, that's
All right.
because we have a Microsoft.
Microsoft. It took me a long time to move to Teams from Zoom. So
yeah, I
needless
wish
to say.
we'd
Well, I still got
nip it in the
but
bud.
okay. Well, that ends our segment. Say what up. Next, we have Mike's mesmerizing moment. Welcome to Mike's mesmerizing moment. What does Mike have to say today? All right, here's my question to you, Mike. From secret bases to government cover-ups, do you think our government has secrets surrounding aliens and life outside our planet?
Why are you asking me?
Well,
that
this is going to
question?
continue on to the Nathan Nuggets. So this is all kind of building up from our story that we talked about the secret bunker and
Okay, you
and
know,
everything.
everybody has a real thing about this alien stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you watch Ancient Aliens and that guy with the hair, you know, he's always talking about this.
the unexplained.
Does the
from
government
William
have
Shatner.
secrets? Absolutely. I believe the government has secrets. Do they have government secrets about aliens? I don't know.
You don't know.
You know, if they probably do,
Okay.
but I can't answer whether or not aliens exist on this planet.
Well, if you think
And
if you think there's secrets and they're covering it up, that means you must think that there's life outside our planet.
I think there's life outside our planet, but I'm not convinced that life visits our planet from other places.
Okay.
Right?
All
So, you know, I watch a lot of these programs at times, and most of the evidence that people get are difficult to interpret. Also, the human brain likes to put patterns, knowing patterns on the thing. So when we see something, we want to attribute certain things to it. So we will convince ourselves that what we saw was a flying saucer rather than something else.
All right. Well. All right. Well,
So-
guess what? We're going to be talking about.
I don't.
in our Nathan
is this
Nugget.
our Ancient Aliens?
Well, yeah, I love watching that. And then there's one with Dan Aykroyd out there, and there's one with William Shatner. I think it's Unexplained. There's a bunch of those out there.
I know there. I know it's a phenomenon. It's like cryptozoology and all these other things. These are things that I think they're fun to.
How are the pyramids? Whoa.
The pyramids were built by human beings and ingenuity. Okay, that's
All
one of
right.
the problems with these things with the
Yeah.
aliens is that it takes away from human ingenuity and intelligence.
Okay.
Okay, the pyramids were built by people. They weren't built by aliens with secret little rock moving technology.
Okay, well, that makes sense. All right. Mike, thank you for that mesmerizing
Yeah,
moment.
sure.
Up next, we have This Week in Technology.
Say
now,
what?
So now would be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side, as we're going to be doing so during the break. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm. See you in a few minutes.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
If you like our show, if you really like us,
That's
we could
what-
use your support on patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm
like
the
us
English
in
guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You know you butcher the English
Okay,
language
so it's
all the time.
It's Patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you really like our show, you can subscribe to Patreon.com and help us out.
Oh, and you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on.
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook, too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Do you know what our Facebook page is?
Tech Time Radio.
At Tech Time Radio.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's Tech Time Radio,
Or you can even Instagram with us.
and that's at Tech Time Radio,
That's at Tech Time Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
and it's Tech Time Radio.
It's at Tech Time Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social
Like
media.
us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it.
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going to our Wayback Machine to March 9th, 1999. Al Gore was misquoted as saying, "I invented the internet."
No,
Now-
he did.
Well, hang on. Let's talk about it. The United
He
States
invented
Vice
the
President Al Gore gives an interview on CNN's Late Edition in which he states, during, quote unquote, "During my service in the United States Congress, I took the initiative in creating the internet. I took the initiative in moving forward a whole range of initiatives that have proven to be important to our country's economic growth and environmental protection. Improvements in our educational system. This is the famous statement that was then kind of misquoted to say in that he said that he invented the internet.
Well,
but that was probably the reason that he did not win the election.
There was also the lockbox.
There was.
I don't know if you remember the lockbox. You're
Yep.
going to put stuff in the lockbox. So.
Yep. So what I think he was trying to say is that during his time in Congress, he approved bills that allowed people to do different things, which included technology. But
Sure, but
sound bites are sound bites, right?
That's right. We want somebody who's going to stand up for the rights of everybody and tell us that he created the internet.
That's right. All right. Well, that was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history, with over 230 plus weekly broadcasts spanning our 4+ years of video, podcasts, and blog information, you can visit techtimeradio.com to watch our other shows. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have the Mark Whiskey Mumble and the review of what we are tasting after this.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for, Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
All right. For those that are joining the show and you say, Mike just mesmerizing and came right into the deal.
I don't think that was very mesmerizing, but whatever.
All right. So he, you got stuck in some traffic. Is that?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. All right. There we go. We're glad that you're here. All right. Let's talk about our whiskey, though. Let's go right into that.
Well, before we do that, it's March 4th today.
Okay.
And I love today, and I know Odie's going to jump in on this one and laugh out loud.
And
he
that
finds
is?
out what it is.
He's already laughing out loud.
So today, Nathan, just for you, it's National Grammar Day.
Oh, grammar. Oh, wow. Wow.
So today we let our inner Nathan out for National Grammar Day.
Right after I roasted him, Mike?
Yeah, wait, do we let our inner Nathan out, or do we put it in a lockbox?
Maybe. You know what? I created the internet. So we'll just tell you that. Oh, okay. All right.
You created bad speaking.
Okay, there you go.
So the motto for today is, it's not only a date, it is an imperative. March 4th on March 4th.
Yeah.
To speak well, write well, and help others do the same. So we at TechTime Radio take this seriously. So we will not have Nathan speak another word for today.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Hang on now.
Remember those commas, buddy. Remember those commas.
Now, I use Grammarly. I'll just tell you, Grammarly
It don't matter what you use.
Okay.
You can use Grammarly all you want.
Write things phonetically, you're still going to mess it up.
Okay, there you go. Thank you guys very much. I
that's
love
why
my
we love
staff.
you.
I love my staff. All right. Okay.
So unlike Nathan,
yes.
Tomato.
Abraham Lincoln had an excellent grammar skill.
Okay.
And used them to craft eloquent speeches. Now, the name of Knob Creek pays homage to a small creek that runs through President Abraham Lincoln's childhood home on the Knob Creek farm in Kentucky.
Okay.
This name was chosen to evoke the simplicity and hands-on craftsmanship typical of pre-prohibition small batch bourbon. Now, Jim Beam bourbons are beloved in the whiskey community. Their profile generally does not align with my palate.
Okay.
They tend to be very nutty, moving forward towards peanuts and peanut butter, which is not my jam.
Okay.
However,
I saw what you did there.
It is not my jam. Do you get that? Peanut butter and jam?
So hopefully today's whiskey is like peanut butter and jelly.
Okay. All right.
However, Knob Creek picks, especially picked by Tommy from the Ballard Cut, have been delicious, and this is no exception. This is an easy drinking, high proof bourbon.
Okay. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Well, you know what? Whiskey and technology are a great pairing. Just like streaming services and non-skippable commercials.
Are you serious?
I'm still on this.
Like peanut butter and jelly.
I know. But I wanted to go back to, I haven't ranted enough about having to watch a 45-minute show on a streaming service that takes me an hour and 15 minutes instead of the hour that it would be on regular television.
Have you thought about pirating instead?
Oh, that's a great idea. Thanks, Odie. We'll talk about that.
Wow.
What do you mean?
Wow. Listen to her.
The pirate king over there, has he thought of pirating?
That's like Odie. Odie is like the hacker Odie works on the side as for one of those other type of places. I get you, Odie. I'm sorry. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, you know what, guys, you're gonna love this. Let's get ready now for our technology fail.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh. I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right. This week's technology fail comes to us from, for the first time ever, Microsoft.
Your buddies.
Microsoft's Copilot AI assistant is exposing contents of more than 20,000 private GitHub repositories from companies including Google, Intel, PayPal, IBM, and many others, and of course themselves. Now, these repositories belong to more than 16,000 organizations who originally posted to GitHub as public information. But then later they went in and they set their privacy to private, often after developers responsible realized that they contained authentication credentials, allowing unauthorized access to the type of confidential data. But months later, these private pages remain available if you go to Microsoft Copilot and search for them. Now, the AI security firm Lasso discovered the behavior in the second half of 2024 after finding in January the Copilot continued to store private repositories and make them available. Lasso set out to measure how big this problem really was. After discovering Microsoft was exposing one of Lasso's own private repositories, the Lasso research traced the problem back to a caching mechanism in Bing. The Microsoft search engine indexed the pages when they were originally published as public, and then never bothered to remove the entries from the pages when they were turned to private later. Since Copilot uses Bing as its primary search engine, the private data was available in the AI chatbot for everyone to see. So this is
I consider this a double fail.
So it's kind of a double. Well, it's also a fail on people when you create your repositories.
That's why it's a double fail. You put it public, it's technically public for that period of time.
And so what happened is that none of the new data is out there, but it's the old data that was publicly available at the time that it indexed it. And then people were like, oops, guess what? That's probably shouldn't be public. It should probably be private. But now Dropbox does a good job of this because when you create an actual folder within Dropbox, it always has it private by default. So you have to actually go on in and make it public. GitHub did not do that. It does that now.
Ooh, triple fail.
So it did not do that originally. When you would create a repository, it always had it as public by default.
Yeah,
so you'd have to go on and
we need to get Al to come back and fix this stuff.
Oh, we do, don't we? Yeah. That's right. Okay, well, that was our technology fail. Now we're going to head out to our last commercial break. When we return, we got a long time topic all of you guys are going to enjoy on the Nathan Nugget. Then, of course, we have our pick of the day. So sit back, raise a glass. You're listening to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm. You definitely want to see this next segment.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, Collected Writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon, the Book Repository, and more.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right, this is the Nathan Nugget. Now, some sci-fi TV shows have gotten better with time, and it makes for a great rewatch. I've been watching this new show called Paradise on Hulu. Unbelievable. So guess what I decided to do? I decided to go through and create a list of the 8 most, in my opinion, popular sci-fi. I'm going to start with 8. I'm going to move all the way on down. These are TV shows that you should go out and rewatch that are sci-fi related. Now, I did not put the X-Files in there because that's kind of a drama, sci-fi, and mystery. So that was eliminated from this list. And so people are going to be like, that's the best. So
that would be number 1, possibly.
Okay, so I have sci-fi, and here we go, ready to go. Number 8, Warehouse 13. From 2009 to 2014, a Secret Service agent essentially goes in and they are taking care of Warehouse 13 in rural South Dakota. They find themselves a part of a team of agents tasked with tracking down and recovering supernatural artifacts to be stored in the warehouse. Now, have you seen Warehouse 13, Mark or Mike? Have you guys seen that show?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, it's a spinoff of Eureka.
Okay. Did you like Warehouse 13? Do you think it's a pretty good sci-fi show?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
All right, Mark, have you seen that?
Never even heard of it.
Okay, well, it should be on your list. Have you seen it, Odie? No. Warehouse 13. All right, now we're moving into number 7. Sliders from 1995 to 2000.
That's going way back.
All right, miscalculation during a wormhole jump leads a group of friends and strangers to travel between alternate Earths. So this is kind of like before Marvel decided to do the whole multiverse. Using a handheld device with their own set of rules, they go and they take a look at everything from when men ruled the world and English won the Revolutionary War, all different type of subjects that happened or didn't happen in history, and they explore each of those items. Sliders. Now, this has Jerry O'Connell in it. It's got John Rhys Davies. So it's got a pretty good group of cast that's in there. It was on for 5 seasons. Have you seen that, Mike?
I remember watching it way back when.
Did you like it, Sliders?
I'm going to say probably not because I don't have a lot of
memories
about it.
Mark, did you ever watch Sliders?
It was Quantum Leap.
It would have been probably almost maybe my number 3 or number 4 on the list.
Okay.
Except for if you take the last couple of seasons where
they started changing the cast a little bit and they had some different writers. Yeah.
So jumped the shark.
Yeah, it was kind of it was the first 3 seasons are phenomenal and the last
Really
2
good.
kind of struggled a bit.
Their storylines remind me a lot of Star Trek.
Okay, well, there you go. So that was 7. Now we're going to 6. TV show called Fringe from 2008-2013. Sci-fi regarding 2 worlds. It had Olivia Dunningham was the character, Walter Bishop and Peter Bishop. Their travel between both our standard universe and a parallel universe. Leonard Nimoy was a regular on that cast also. It was on for 5 seasons. Came on out in 2008. Did you ever watch the TV show Fringe, Mike?
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Pretty good. Did you ever watch that, Mark?
I watched it. I
never got into it.
You never got into it. All right. Odie, did you watch Fringe? See, these are all things that you're going to want to go home and then add them to the queue of your list. All right, my next one.
That's a serious look of contempt over
Is
there.
it over there? She was like,
she's like, F you, dude.
All right. Okay. The next one, Third Rock from the Sun, 1996 to 2001. All right.
What?
It's
That's
a sci-fi.
not sci-fi.
Well, it's a sitcom about extraterrestrials that come on down and deal with.
Yeah,
so that is sci-fi. It's aliens coming.
This
in
was a
visiting.
really good show, but I'm not sure it should be on this list.
You don't think it should be on this list? Well, I think it's sci-fi list. It's a very good show, but
this is a phenomenal show.
Phenomenal. So it's a sci-fi show. It's about aliens having to deal with people in America, in the world, and how crazy we are compared to their alien life forms. John Lithgow was on it. I mean, great cast. So you watched that?
Jane Curtin?
Yep.
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was on there too? That's right. He was the kid.
He was the kid.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Okay. Here we go. This is probably one of, I think, the all-time. This is the largest episodic TV series of all time for sci-fi.
Episodic,
because they would do 24 episodes in a season instead of just 10 or 12.
This one's a big one.
Stargate SG-1
Yes,
from 1997 to 2007. All right, this had to do with a spin-off of the television series, and then
no.
or the movie,
yeah.
or the movie. Sorry, it came of the movie, and then there was 2 other spin-offs that happened from Stargate SG-1 that were also other Stargate series. Now, Mark, did you watch Stargate SG-1?
I've watched episodes, and once again, it's another one I could never really get into.
Wow. Okay, Mark, you have to move on out the door there, buddy.
All right, this is one of my favorites. This is number 2 on my list.
This is number 2?
Well, no, this is not number 2 on my list, but this is like
number 2.
I have a couple that are coming up, but this is.
I'm still waiting for the really good ones.
Well, hang on, they're coming on up here. All right, so Stargate was there. Moving next on the list down, moving to number 1. Number 1, I think we will not have any disagreement on it at all. The next one I have moving up here is Quantum Leap from 1989 to 1993.
It's number 1?
No, it's not number 1.
What number is that on your list?
This is number 3. This is number 3.
Yeah, you're missing some.
Well, hang on. This is number 3. This is what we got. Quantum Leap. Scott Bakula goes.
Well, that was phenomenal. I mean, that's one of my 2 all-times.
Okay, so you're 2 all-times?
That's half of my 2 all-times.
That's a half of your... Okay. Yeah, so you watched Quantum Leap, right, Mike?
Yep.
Okay. And you like Quantum Leap? Was that?
It was pretty good, yeah.
It's pretty good? I don't think it's number 1 yet.
It's old.
It is old. Now, they did a reboot of it on NBC for 2 seasons, and it was okay, but it ended with a cliffhanger that never finished, and so I'm really kind of disappointed. I think they thought they'd come back for their third season.
They're gonna come back and do what's that movie?
A reboot one, a reboot or something. All right, here we go. Number 2. And this I think there'll be some controversy, but that's okay. Battlestar Galactica, 2004 to 2009.
The remake.
Well, the remake was really good, but the original was also very good. So
the original was good, but it was very campy.
It was very campy.
It got campy really fast.
It did. It started out really, really good with the first season. Actually, the first season of the original series was really good too, and then it got into more Buck Rogers like type of deal. So
that's the curse of 70s sci-fi was camp.
You got that.
Yeah, your list is flawed.
Why is that?
Because you're going to number 1, which has to be Star Trek.
Well,
we
number
already know
1.
that, right?
But where is Buck Rogers, as you just mentioned?
Well, he didn't make my list.
Where is Alf?
Where's Alf? Alf doesn't make my list.
Where's the Orville?
Well,
see, that's
okay. Well, number 1. Here's number 1.
Nathan list sucks.
Star Trek: The Next Generation, 1987 to 1994.
Oh, you limited it to one series? Your list is really flawed. The top 5 should have been all the different series.
All the
5
Star
to 7.
Trek. Well,
oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
we all knew this was coming.
So if you have different
You're such a
opinions,
biased.
you need to put them in the comments on YouTube, or you need to send us an email, just like Judy did, so you can tell me what your top 5 or your top 10 list would be. This
You're
going to
get all
8.
the Star Wars people.
What Star Wars series is
I don't watch.
good?
I'm not a Star Wars.
The Mandalorian
person.
has been okay,
the
but it really
Mandalorian
dipped after the
Okay,
Boba Fett
well,
series.
the Clone Wars is a really good series.
Yeah, the Clone Wars is really good. Yeah. Andor was really good.
I put Lost
Andor.
on there as well.
We put Lost as a
Yeah.
sci-fi? Lost didn't even know.
What do you mean? They had time travel.
I never know.
Lost
they had
should stay
Flash.
Lost.
Yeah,
Lost was Lost.
Yeah, let me just tell you, I have never gone back and watched Lost. I own it and I purchased it and I've never watched it. And you know what? I'm rewatching Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Everybody got
for like the
disappointed
third or
with
fourth time.
with the big reveal at the end. Like
I mean,
that was a say what moment. What?
I mean, let's talk about this cast, right? I mean, in Star Trek: The Next Generation, you had
Oh my God.
LeVar Burton, you had Brent Spiner.
LeVar Burton.
You had Brent Spiner, you had Will Wheaton. I mean, everybody likes a little Wesley, right?
Everybody hated Wesley. Poor guy.
Jonathan Frakes. He's made a pretty good comeback now. Will Wheaton has. Jonathan Frakes.
Will
Patrick
Wheaton's
Stewart.
I love him.
Cool guy.
He's a great director too. For some of the best episodes are usually directed by him.
Marina Sirtis, and the list goes on and on. Remember they even had the A-Team guy Dwight was on there for a little bit. The A-Team Murdoch guy was on there. Dwight, whatever his name is. Too.
Yeah. He was.
What happened to Twilight Zone?
Twilight.
Didn't make the list.
I'm not a big Twilight Zone.
How are you not going to include Stranger Things?
It's not on the list.
Is specifically like old people.
Man, you're
sci-fi.
getting roasted, dude.
Wow.
You are getting
This is
cooked.
Nathan's list.
Doctor
Have you heard? Thank you.
Doctor
Thank
Who.
you.
Doctor Who.
You are so cooked.
Did you do
buddy.
any research or fact
He did
checking
not.
today?
These are
Wow.
all. These
What
are all.
about The Walking Dead?
Walking Dead isn't sci-fi.
What do you mean it's zombies?
It's zombie. That does not. Zombies
This
aren't
is all-
sci-fi.
this is all Nathan
we're
Land
going
stuff.
specifically with outer space.
Well, yes.
And then the
sci-fi.
one with probably the most intense fan following. It's not big, but intense. Firefly.
Yeah. Where was Firefly?
I watched the.
Oh, dude, you're in trouble, dude.
Nathan Fillion is a
What
great
about
actor.
the 100?
Nathan, you're cooked, man.
Oh my God.
You're gonna get a lot of backlash from
come on,
this.
Star Trek: The Next Generation is number 1. Number 2 is Battlestar Galactica. Number 3 is Quantum Leap. These are solid. Number 4 is Stargate SG-1. How can you not say that those are? in the top list?
those are good.
Okay.
But, you know, you're
30 Rock from
You're
the
so
Sun.
limited with
your
it.
absence of certain ones are you've really stirred a pot on this.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching Sliders right now. It's actually really, really good. I couldn't believe how.
I
good
like
it was.
Sliders on the list. Like I said, I love Sliders.
Yeah, that's normally one that people don't talk about. And I think
No,
Fringe
no.
is good too.
Yeah, Fringe was pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, that was the Nathan Nugget. All right. Let's move on now. Pick of the day.
Let's get Nathan out of the hot water he's in.
That's right.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right.
All
Moving
right.
Nathan from the hot water to the brown water.
Okay.
So we are drinking Knob Creek Single Barrel Select Bourbon. This is the Seafood Fest 2024 pick from the Ballard Cut. It is 10 years old. Jim Beam Distillery, straight bourbon, 120 proof. Goes for about $70.
All right. I am going to give it a thumbs up. I like it.
Thumbs up for me.
You like it too?
Yeah, it's really good.
So this is from your little bar that you hang out in the Ballard area. Is this from that guy?
Yep.
He does a pretty good job.
Probably the best whiskey bar in the Seattle area.
Is it? Now, is it the best whiskey bar in the Pacific Northwest?
Yes, for me it is.
Okay.
It is.
There you go.
I've been to most of them.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't want to say all of them,
you-
but most of them.
okay.
It's my top one.
How many of them are reconstituted speakeasies?
One, two that I'm aware of. Probably a few others.
All right,
That's cool.
All right. Well, we want to thank our listeners for joining the program. Listeners, we want to hear from you. I want to hear your top 5 list of sci-fi shows. If you disagree with me, make sure you put it in
roast
there.
them, dude.
All right,
Roast
send
them.
it to press@techtimeradio.com or put those comments in the YouTube video so I can take a look at them and then respond back and saying you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. All right. Well, we want to tell everybody thank you so much for listening.
That you're right on.
That's right. Remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. See all you guys next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.